Thanks for joining in the Corona Healing Series. Advice number 2, we're focusing only on parents now. And this is something that most parents make this mistake. I made the mistake too. When we ask children to help us around the house, and especially now we need more help, I think there's a mistake that society and our parents have made. The term help does not apply in our homes. I'm going to explain. I will explain. I will explain. Wait. I will explain. Help would refer to if you have a household of 2 kids, or 5 kids, or 10 kids, and you are the only ones that eat, cook, and make garbage, and your kids are like angels. They don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't create dirty laundry, they do nothing. Then there's this concept of helping. You are helping me. So I have to wash 1 or 2 sets of dishes. Please come and help me. Or the elderly woman across the street, you will help them. You will go shopping for them. When a child is over the age of 2, there's certain things they could get involved. The term helping does not apply. Not only does it not apply, it messes around with their brain, and people resent the idea of helping. I don't want to help. I don't want to help last time. Why are you always asking me? You never ask my sibling. I hate when you always ask me to thing at the garbage. I'm only when you're asking me. I don't mean to make fun of you guys. I'm just mimicking some realities. I was the same way as a child. What's better for the child? And you could tell them the truth. You could tell them, and I did the same thing when my children grow up, till I realized this idea, and I told them I made a mistake, and I changed my language, I changed my vocabulary. No one helps in this house. All of you eat. All of you create dirty dishes. All of you create dirty laundry. If we live together as mature children, teens, and adults, we all chip in. So I don't need you to help clean up the dining room table or the kitchen table after dinner. No one is helping. Everyone contributes. And once you explain children in a very friendly, peaceful way, in a way that they actually empower them to feel like they're part of the process, they're not your servants, and they're not your employees, that they're part of the process. And the truth is, smart employers do it that way in the first place, when they make their employees feel like part of the company, so on and so forth. And you don't give them jobs. I don't even know if I want to call it chores. You give them responsibilities. We all have shared responsibilities based on the age and based on stuff. The one practical stuff that I could say is when dinner is over, everyone cleans up from the table, their own plate, their own cutlery, or their own disposable, unless they're in the palace where things are done for them. Everyone cleans up after themselves, and as well 2-3 things everyone takes from the table, puts it in the right place. So if in your house you put it on the counter, the dishes put on the counter. If you put it in the dishwasher, well, they might learn now how to stack dishes in the dishwasher. There is a unique way to do it in order for the dishes to get washed. And that's something you could keep for the rest of the year. As well, it's important, especially we have computers, we have sheets, we can get it organized and just make it easier. I'll tell you, there's so many parents that constantly tell me I do everything around the house. So when I talk to them, why don't your children get involved? And I know their answer. You're right, but it's so much easier to do it alone than to beg and to turn blue in your face and to chase them. I know they're meant to do it. In this way, you don't have to beg. They are partners within the house, besides they're paying the mortgage and rent, like you are. They eat like you are. They use the bathroom or washroom or dunny or toilet like you do. We're all human. Now, the exception to this rule is that when a child leaves the house, some children leave the house as early as 6, 7, or 8, and they're in school all day, and they come home with loads of homework, which, as you know, my opinion about homework, and they're overloaded that they can't breathe, and before they even blink their eye, it's already 8 o'clock, which I think is very wrong, the schedule of young children and teens, but that's not for now. At that time, I think their involvement in the house should be less, besides cleaning up your own cutlery. Sorry, making your own bed, cleaning up your own coat. But taking the house and dividing the house between 2 and 3 people to vacuum twice a week, all these things is a beautiful thing to implement in these days, and it's not only for the corona healing, but for the rest of the year, especially before Passover, before Pesach, which we need so much more help. Furthermore, since we are not the dictators and we are not the big bullies of the house, as a parent, instead of writing down the stuff you want the children to get involved in, the chores that need to be done around the house, and then telling who's going to take who, ask questions instead of giving directions. Ask questions, because the more questions you ask, the more you empower them. What do you mean by questions? Questions is, guys, let's make a list of what things everyone could get involved in. First, make the list that has nothing to do with age, and let the kids put together the list. Laundry needs to be done, and this needs to be done, and that needs to be done, and the vacuuming needs to be done, and the polishing needs to be done. Then you ask them, which of these things could the 4-year-old and 6-year-old maybe not do? And by the way, there's a 90% chance that the 4-year-old and 6-year-old will actually fight to do because they want to feel big. Now, you are not pushing them to do something. You're actually building their ego. You're working with their ego. And I'm talking about the healthy ego, where you're making them feel like they own the house. They're part of it. They are partners. They're not parents, but they're partners within the house. They're no more helping you because you want or need some help. Rather, they are partners within the structure of the home. And that's a beautiful thing to do, and you will have lots of success. Kids do back out of this, and not necessarily will you have a successful meeting with your family to do these things, and that is because you might not have a good relationship in the first place. For example, so many parents that can't admit that they did a mistake, so many parents that can't admit that they hurt their children's feelings, so many parents that have their own emotional issues and they can't deal with it. I won't even get into the idea of narcissistic parents. This method that's so practical, that's so beautiful, that's so phenomenal, outstanding, and acceptable to every single child will not work for you. And my heart goes out because we need to go to therapy before we could actually make such a meeting. But yet, many parents will be able to do it, and it will be very successful. If you have any ideas, or if you have done anything similar to what I'm sharing with you, please share in the comments. I'd love to learn. That's what I do. I'm just a sponge, and I collect the wisdom of so many people. I collect the water and the drops of wisdom of so many people, and when my sponge is full, I go around the world and squeeze my sponge and share it with others, and people thank me, and I tell them, no, that's all the stuff that I collected, and I share all these ideas. For most of my ideas are not mine. It's just what I've learned and what I've gathered and collected. Thanks for listening, and have a peaceful and a tranquil day.